How's your mom doing? Your grandma,
She's
actually.
doing better. Yeah, man, walking around and all that, and drinking her beers too again. So that's good.
I guess grandmas can do whatever they want to do.
That's right, man.
All
So
right,
yeah,
guys.
we're doing good, man.
Good, good. I'm glad you're here, man. I'm really glad your mom's here. We're going to have some really good input tonight, guys. So I say we give it another 30 seconds, 45 seconds. And Ron, I'm going to let you take, well, I'll do the intro and then I'm going to bring Ron in. Jana, Corey, Peggy, Aaron, Stacy, Jana. Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and get started, guys, at 6 o'clock. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. We'll have other people joining us. Ron has the ability to mute everybody, so he's going to be muting everyone. And after Ron and Corey get done, we will have a little bit of time for questions. The goal tonight, guys, is I'm just going to be completely honest with you. Network marketing is completely new to me. It's foreign. I'm new to this thing, and I'm learning. I'm soaking everything up from my mentors, which are Ron, Corey, and Carlos Martinez. Hopefully, Carlos will be joining us. But I just want to let you guys know that the purpose of this Zoom tonight is I have a way that works for me, and it's working very well for me. We all don't have the same ways that we do this, and there's so many different ways to do this, and I don't know them all. Ron's got 40 years in the business. Corey's got 20-something years. Carlos has 20-something years. So the reason I wanted to do this is to let you guys who are on my team, and those of you who aren't, is that I don't have all the answers, guys. I'm learning just like you are, and I love to just be a part of this team. So I thought it would be advantageous for all of us if we could bring in some people that are just like most of us. We are all driven to help people. That's our number one goal. Everyone on Team Hope, I know without a doubt, and I know on the Dream Team, and I'm pretty sure on Corey's team, we want to help people. And we've been given something that we can help a lot of people, guys. So what I wanted to do is let you know that I know I don't know all of this, and I have no problem admitting that. And so I wanted to bring on the experts that are on our team with life, with the business, with whatever God is for you. These guys are people that I really, really look up to. And all I'm doing, guys, and I'm going to end on this, is I'm following their lead. I am being teachable, and I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Ron, and I'm going to let Ron talk to you guys and let you know what's worked for him and his tactics. And then Corey will take over and he'll talk to you. And then hopefully at the end, we'll have a little bit of time for questions. Okay. So Ron, thank you so much for taking a Sunday. I know you don't do Sundays usually, but we are so blessed that you're willing to do this. So Ron, I'm going to turn it over to you. If everybody can make sure you're muted, that would be great. Thanks, Ron.
How's everybody doing?
Great.
Good to see so many. I wish I could see more faces. Good to see all of you here. Some of you, this may be your first time seeing me. I can tell you that if you are serious about this business, it won't be the last time that you see me. So, isn't that right, Tink? I feel like Tink and I have known each other for years now. We're sort of these Jana and obviously I love having Stacy and Gina here and so many amazing people. I'm gonna quickly tell you my story because I think when you understand people's story, you understand where they're coming from and you understand a lot more about what we're doing as far as this business goes. So and I will tell you that this business is all about telling stories. If I could tell you one skill set that I've learned over the last 40 years in network marketing, it is the ability to tell stories. You want to be able to tell your story. You want to learn how to tell somebody else's story. So here's my quick story. I got started in this back a long time ago. I got drafted during that little conflict we had here back in the 60s and 70s, Vietnam. And My first whole paycheck for an entire month in the military was $76. That was for an entire month. After I got back from overseas, I was like a lot of other military people. We had to supplement our incomes. And I grew up, I mean, I'm from Michigan. I grew up in that, in the area where it is Amway Company. Some of you have heard of the American Way, Amway Company. And so I got introduced to a philosophy, a business model that was all based on having success if you helped enough other people have success. Certainly not what they taught you in the military. Certainly not what we got taught in corporate America. So that was, for me in my heart, that's where my journey began, and I fell in love with it. And throughout the last 40 years, I've had some success, six figures, a ton of failures, just like everybody else. Get involved with companies and they don't do what they say they're going to do. They go under, things change. I had a really good career working for military intelligence most of my life, making mid six figures, living a life, driving a Porsche. My wife had a Cadillac, big home, flew first class everywhere we went. And it wasn't anything what you expect because you think you can retire, have a good life, and everything is good to go. Well, in 1997, basically the government said, we don't want civilian contractors doing this anymore. And we lost a lot of contracts, and I lost my job. I had to go start fending for myself and become an entrepreneur. We ended up losing our house back then. A lot of things changed. Got back on my feet, started, learning business more, getting going, and got back into network marketing, had some more success and some other things going on. Ended up going back to work at a corporate office because my expertise is really kind of software engineer and science. And about a year and a half ago, I was in Vegas at a convention visiting my youngest son, who's a pilot in the Air Force and stationed there, and had been having some indigestion for a couple of weeks. And when I got home, my wife, God bless her, decided she was taking me to the hospital, and I found out that I had 5 blocked arteries and had to have open heart surgery. Things in your life change when mortality sits in. I thought I was, and Jan and I were kind of talking about this a while back, of a lot of the things we have in common. I'm just an older version, but man, I've got probably 500 jumps out of airplanes. I've dove all over the world. I've rappelled. I've flown helicopters. I've flown planes. I was this kind of extreme sports guy back when extreme sports weren't really around, and thought I was invincible. So now all of a sudden I'm having open heart surgery. My life is being changed significantly, and I've got to come up with something to do. And even though I'm retired and I've got money coming in and everything, things had changed. My businesses went down the tubes kind of because I didn't have any motivation. I didn't have any drive. I was trying to get, kind of in touch with what really happened. And then 3 months after I had the open heart surgery, it failed. And I had a heart attack, and I had to have 4 stents put in. So it's been a long journey. When I was introduced this in May, I was still going through a lot of medication changes and things like that. But I sat and I watched the video that Josh and Jen put together and saw a couple that had a heart just like me. I saw a couple that had a vision to change the world, just like I've always had and wanted to do. And I couldn't help it. And you know what it was? It was their story. It was their story that they told that got me so excited. So I jumped on board. And the funny story is I jumped on board, and the first hero I had in the business was Corey Reynolds. I saw what Corey was doing. There was another gentleman, Alfonso Jones, and Katie Acosta, and a couple of other people back then that, just got me fired up. And we got our products at the end of May. And I started taking them. I started feeling better. My wife had just had rotator cuff surgery, which is one of the most painful surgeries you can go through. 2 years before, she'd had her right shoulder done, and it was narcotics every 6 hours. This time, not one narcotic, one pain pill, all the way through the recovery and the physical therapy, just the CBD oil and our relief cream. My cholesterol, after 3 months of being on this product, the cardiologist, and you guys will laugh at this, but my cardiologist at the Veterans Hospital literally skipped, and he's my age. It's not that we can't skip at this age, because we can, but he actually skipped down the hallway to the examination room because he could not believe what my cholesterol levels were. He wanted to get my bad cholesterol, which is called the LDL, down from 109 down to 75. Wasn't really that bad, but for someone that has stents. My overall cholesterol now is just over 100, and my bad cholesterol is at 63. The only thing I did was this. Now, I shouldn't say that. I did cut back. I'm only doing 6 pieces of bacon now. So, I mean, I did cut back a little bit, right? You know, I did some things, okay? I don't eat a whole bowl of ice cream every night. The reality is that this little liquid miracle in a bottle has changed my life. So in June, my first full month in the business was June. I looked at my wife and I said, honey, I'm going 5K affiliate. I am going 5K affiliate. Corey's at 10K. Alfonso's at 5K. Aaron, I think, was at 25K at that point in time. I am doing this. I'm going to 5K. And I put the pedal to the metal, and I just started reaching out to anybody and everybody. I took all the knowledge I had in marketing, because a couple of years before this, I started being a consultant for marketers and so forth. Knew all about blogging, knew all about attraction marketing, knew all about these things. And so I put it all into place. And I just went crazy. I'm going to get the 5K affiliate. Well, 19 days later, I was at 10K affiliate. And I ended up closing the month out at 24,000. I was ecstatic because I had fallen into, and I say that, I had fallen into, by the hands of God, into a movement that just is not going to be stopped. You're either in the movement or you're not in the movement. And if you're in the movement, it's just, you know, like a rushing rapids, class 4 rapids, and you better hang on. You better get in that raft, and you better grab on with both hands, because we're all going to be seeing this and feeling this. And those that sit back on the wings and watch it are going to watch it. And they're not going to watch it just stroll by. They're going to watch it zoom by. Okay. July, August, 25,000 each month. October, because I wasn't even, I didn't actually get the qualification of 25K affiliate. October, I was determined at the convention, man, I am going to make it at the convention. They introduced new products. Man, I was right there. And I'm sitting in the plane on Sunday evening in Seattle, Washington. And for those of you who don't know, the company updates the back office at 4 o'clock in the morning Pacific, 1 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific, and 8 o'clock at night Pacific. I was in Seattle. It was about 20 minutes after 8 at night as I went to my phone and said, I'll just check it out. And sure enough, this is the Sunday after the convention ended. I hit 25K affiliate. It was amazing. We've been 25K ever since. We're at 47,400 right now. We'll hit 50K in a couple of days. And I'm telling you that because the power behind the rank is the amount of people that you're impacting. It's not the money. It's not the glory of, you know, I'm a 50K affiliate, because I'm not a 50K affiliate. My team is a 50K affiliate. I didn't do this on my own at all. And in fact, the month that I made, October, when I made 25K affiliate, most of you will be surprised at how many people I had to recruit that month. 0. December, actually, I stand corrected. It was 2, and 1 was a customer. December was our biggest month up until January. January now we're close to 400 new people on the team this month. In December, it was our biggest month to date up until January. I recruited not one person. I'm telling you that not because I don't want you to learn how to recruit and bring people in, because I've personally sponsored over 70 people. What I'm telling you that for is because you don't just sponsor people. You don't just bring in customers. You don't just bring in paid affiliates. You bring in people that become your children. You bring in people that become your mission. You bring in people that you want to teach how to impact lives. And if you've got a mindset and you've got a heart that you want to help people and you want to change their lives, then you can go very, very far in this business. If you've got a heart that all you want to do is make money and you're going to be on everybody all the time for doing stuff so that you can make money, I guarantee you, you may make a little bit of money, but you're not going to build a long-lasting relationship. You're not going to build a long-lasting business. You're not going to build a legacy company. So if you want that, I'm going to tell you a few things that you need to do, okay? And I'll try, you know, I've set my watch. It's set to go off in 5 hours and 32 minutes. I mean, no, I didn't say it. I want you to think about 4 things. And you guys may have heard me talk about this before. Robert and I talk about this all the time, but I think there are 4 things that you need to do. If you're going to build your business, you're going to do this. If you're going to do this, and you're going to make an impact on people's lives. And I'm assuming anybody here not want to impact anybody's lives. All you want to do is make money. People just want to make money. How many people want to impact as many lives as you can, right? All of us, right? That's what we're in this business for. You know, and I want to say this because Chris reached out to me. He and Jana reached out to me I don't know, Chris, it's probably about a couple of months ago now, at least, and ask if we would, you know, kind of take him under our wing and help him out and everything. And I want you guys to know this, not because I'm trying to pat the dream team on the back, but because this is what we do. This is our heart. We have no financial interest in this team, but we have a human interest in this team. We have a life interest in this team. And somebody's got I can't hear anything you're saying.
Say what you just said again, please. Please, guys, this blows me away. I reached out to this man and asked for his help, and he does not make 1 penny off of me. Let that sink in, everybody. Thanks, Ron.
You're welcome. In the scheme of things, here's what you know, I believe God's heart is. You know, and you'll hear Carlos and I talking about quoting scripture. That's who we are. That's who we are in life. And I've come to grips with the fact that maybe people don't understand that in me or in us, and they may not accept it or not accept it in that. But we try to be good people, and a part of that is that we've been taught. You know, when Christ was in the synagogue of his time with the religious leaders, they asked him what was the most important commandment. They were trying to trip him up. They wanted him to say something that they could use against him. And he said, there's not just one, there's 2. Love God and love others. He didn't say make a bunch of money. He didn't say have a big house. He didn't say drive a Porsche. He didn't say, he said love God and love others. That really always has stuck with me since I was a little kid. That, you know, this is it couldn't be, you know, we've all heard of the KISS principle. It couldn't be any easier than that, right? Just love everybody else. So when Chris reached out to me, it was a no-brainer. This business is based on helping others. And I know, you know, what is it? A rising tide raises all ships. If we all are successful, 2 things happen. The company is successful. The company didn't go from 7 million to 100 million because Ron Deering, obviously, right? It went because we all did that. But can we all take advantage of the fact that it happened? Absolutely, right? We can all take it back because this company is going through the roof, right? So you need to understand that you need to figure out where your heart is. There are no boundaries for our team. There's no boundaries for the vision team. And I know that causes a lot of other people in the company some heartache and so forth. But the reality is that if you want help and you're on this Zoom tonight, don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Carlos, Corey, Chris, anybody. I think the people that have been working with us will tell you that, you know, this is what I do all day long, and I love it. It makes my heart happier than I've been in a long time. So 4 things that you need to remember, 4 things that you need to put on a plaque in front of you, 4 things that you need to remember. First thing is, if you're going to do this business, you need to make a decision. When I say you need to make a decision, I'm not talking about you need to make a decision to do the business. You've already done that or you wouldn't be here, right? but you need to make a decision about how you're going to do the business. And I want you to write down 2 words and put these 2 words on a sticky note somewhere on your monitor, your husband or spouse's forehead, wherever you need to put it, right? And I know you ladies are laughing because you could see your husband with a sticky note right on their head. You're going to make a decision to do this business despite and until. Despite, no matter what happens. And if you don't put that in your brain, and if you don't tell yourself that every single day when you wake up, I'm going to do this no matter what comes up today. I'm going to tell you the story of a young lady, Sonia Line. Sonia Line got in this business back in 2014. She was one of Jenna's first recruits in the business. It just started. All they had were sprays. They didn't have anything else. She lived in Canada. She didn't even know about CBD oil at the time, but she lived in Canada. Sprays were okay to go. So she started working this business. It took her 2 years to make it to 5K affiliate. 2 years to make it to 5K affiliate. Did y'all hear me? Most of us, after 2 months, if we weren't having any success, would have quit. She went through, when this company was going through a lot of ups and downs, issues that people that were working there didn't like Josh because he was too young, and all these different things that were going on. And she stuck to it because she told herself, I'm burning the boats. This is all I have got, and I'm going to stick to this. Then they introduced CBD oil, brought it into Canada. Everyone, oh man, she just started going like crazy. Then they took it away from Canada. Have you ever done that to anybody? Here you go. Can't have it. Here you go. Can't have it. That's what they did to people in Canada. Corey can attest to this. Sonia Line kept going. She just kept going. We did an interview. We met in Las Vegas at the convention. We connected back up afterwards. We did an interview together. And the most important part of that interview was the 45 minutes to an hour we talked to her afterwards, and she's just telling her story. She's been in the company now a little over 4 years. She said, Ron, I am making sick fantasy money now. Anybody want sick fantasy money? Because what does sick fantasy money do for you? It helps you to do sick fantasy helping, sick fantasy charities, sick fantasy impacting, right? But if I told you her story and said her story was she got in this business, 4 years later, she was making $500,000 a year. Yeah, everybody go, yeah, for 4 years, I can do that. But as soon as you hear that first part, that she was struggling, making no money whatsoever for 2 years before she even got the 5K affiliate, most of you would have said, yeah, nah, I'm out of here, right? So you need to make a decision that you're going to do this business despite anything that goes on, because we're at the best place in the world right now. We don't have to go through anything like she went through. But if it took you 2 years to get to 5K, and then 2 years later you were making $500,000, would that change your life and a lot of other people's lives? Sometimes it's almost shame on us for not sticking to it, because there are people that could have got impact if we quit that don't. And the second word is until. And this is where Sonia really hit it, nailed it to the wall, right? Until I have the success that I know I deserve, that God promised. Despite and until. Foreheads, monitors, stick it everywhere. You're going to do this business despite and until. That's number one. Number two is you got to find a mentor. You need to find a mentor. And when I define a mentor is someone that's gone before you and done what you want to do. Tony Robbins says that you need to find that person in life that's done what you want to do, have the success that you want to have, and mirror and match them, right? Walk in their shoes, exactly. Get them to be a mentor. But there's two other things about a mentor that a lot of people don't continue on with. The second thing you need to know about your mentor is you got to find a mentor that not only has done what you want to do, but has taught others to do it. So you can see why I picked Robert Hollis, right? He's an 8-figure earner. Wouldn't mind that. But the key is he helped 55 other people become millionaires. That means he knows how to teach people to become a millionaire. That's the mentor you want. The one that has a success rate of teaching others. And the third thing is a mentor that's documented. that's just not out there on the internet saying, oh, follow me, look, I recruited 60 people, come on, let me be your mentor. And their whole claim to fame is they've got people in that have paid them so they can mentor them. You want someone that's gone before you, created other people that have done the same thing and have documentation to prove all that. So that's the second thing you need to get a mentor. The third thing is, and this is the hardest for most of us, you need to learn to follow instructions. You need to learn to follow instructions. Now, I don't know how many of you, ladies or gentlemen, have been in the military, but in the military, that's not pretty much an option. You either follow instructions or people die, right? You need to follow instructions. Anything else in our lives, we follow instructions. If I'm going to medical school, if I'm going to law school or anything like that, I don't walk into my professors and say, yeah, I know, but I'm going to do this my way, right? We follow the instructions. We find a mentor and we follow their instructions. Somewhere along the line, when we get into this bubble of network marketing, we think, oh, we all know a little bit more, and I'm this kind of personality, and I know you have 4 steps, and the first 2 are really cool. The third one, yeah, I'm going to tweak that one a little bit, and the fourth one, I don't like that one at all, so I'm just not going to do that. And then 2 months down the road, or 2 weeks down the road, you're sitting back and you're going, I don't get this. This is terrible. Nothing works. I'm not having any success. I followed my mentor. I followed his instructions to the letter, and look what's happening to us. Now, I'm not going to say I followed my upline. I followed my mentor. Okay, doesn't need to be the same thing. You find your mentor. If it's your upline, that's great. If it's somebody up above that, that's great too. Whoever it is, you find who your mentor is, and then you follow the instructions. And the last thing is you practice. You practice, practice, practice. I love Michael Jordan's comment of, I miss 100% of the shots I don't take. So if you're sitting back and thinking, okay, I'm just not getting very good at this, and I'm gonna use Carlos Martinez. Anybody here not know Carlos? Everybody here know Carlos? Is he awesome? Is he an awesome man or what, man? When we first started in this business, when he first came in June, he and I sat and talked, and he says, okay, what do I need to do, Ron? What do I need to do? He actually beat me to 10K affiliate by 2 days. By 2 days, he beat me. Guess how many people he recruited in the month of June when he became a 10K affiliate? 14 people. Not 60, not 100. He brought in 14 people. But he and I, and that month that I closed out at 24,000 in June, I only brought in 23 people. And a lot of you are saying, oh no, 23 people. But in the scheme of things, that's not a lot of people. Here's what happened though. We sat down, we talked about it. We followed instructions where Robert said, bring in a few people, work with them, bring in a few people, work with them, bring in a few people and work with them. And it caused us to not only for him to get to 10K, but we helped 2 of his people break 5K that month too. So we were already helping people break ranks. And now they're breaking ranks like crazy. Carlos is going to hit 25K. Troy Barrett's going to hit 10K. Don's going to hit 10K. 2 or 3 other people are going to hit 5K for the first time. We've got a lot of growth going in people breaking ranks. One of the first things I told Carlos is, man, you got to do lives. Now, is he a master at doing lives or what? He's awesome at it. First live he did was back in June. He's like, oh no, I got to do lives. And he was scared to death, and he went out there, and now he's a master. And you know what he did? Every time he brought someone on, he said, Jana, you got to do lives. Chris, you got to do lives. Peggy, you got to do lives. Joan, you got to do lives. Gina, we got to do a live. We got to get it to work this time. So it's all about those 4 things. Make that decision despite and until. Get yourself a mentor. I love it that Chris reached out. I'm happy to be one of his mentors, but he knew that he needed to reach out and get a mentor. I've been doing this for 40 years. Robert's only been doing it for 32. I could easily have an ego and sit back and say, I know more, right? But guess what? I haven't been an 8-figure earner, so I must not. Aaron's been doing it for 20 years, you know? So you need to find a mentor. You need to make the decision. You need to learn to follow instructions, and then you just need to practice, practice, practice. When you're out there talking to people, the next step you need to take in your business and when you're talking to people is learn to tell your story. You're going to start off by telling somebody else's story. I always tell Robert's story. When I'm talking to someone, I'm going to tell Robert's story because his story is, when I get my story bigger, 100K, 250K affiliate, then I'll start telling my story more. But when I'm talking to somebody for the first time, I'm going to tell them Robert's story. Bring Robert into this. And let them know that they're going to have access to Robert. Because you know whose story Robert tells? He tells Jenna's. He tells Josh's, right? One of the things I love about him so much, and he and I are at the point now where we do masterminds together, just him sitting in his easy chair with bed hair and sitting back, and Terry yelling at me from the outside of the camera, and so we get to sit down and do masterminds, every other week or so. And one of the things I love about him is he's very simplistic. The sample program came out, right? Here's the sample program. And there's all kinds of philosophies and there's all kinds of theories floating around within the power team and all the teams, right? How do we use the sample? Well, I looked to my mentor and I said, 3 or 4 weeks ago now, we were masterminding together and talking and that. And I said, so how do we use this new funnel? What do we do? He said, man, you use it everywhere. We get everybody in it. The mastermind behind that is somebody can come in at $32 and everybody's going, I know what the longtime, attraction marketing group and the gurus of network marketing are out there going, no way, you never do that. Because they're the ones that are out there saying, if you don't come in at the highest level, I'm not going to work with you. Can you imagine being told that? Chris, what would you have done if I'd have said to you when you came to me, Chris, as soon as you get to be a 10K affiliate, then maybe come talk to me? How would that have made you feel?
I would have looked for a different mentor or probably not done the business.
Exactly, right? And look what we'd have lost. Look what everybody would have lost, right? So please don't ever put that on somebody. They got to come at a certain level or they got to accomplish something before you'll train them. They've got to get to a certain point or you're not going to work with them or they're not going to get the super duper special training and all of that stuff. You want everybody to have access to everything that you can offer them to give them the most success they can as quickly as they can. So when Robert's talking to me about, he was like bouncing off the chair. Here's a guy, Josh Zwagel, that took a company from 7 million to 100 million. Nobody else did that. 7 million to over 100 million in a 12-month period. He knows what he's talking about. He put together the sample program, the sample funnel, and guess what? He allowed us, and no other company I've ever been involved with in 40 years would have ever done this or would do it now. But he allowed us not only to get people in with samples that cost nothing and they're paying shipping and handling, but we get BV in it and we get paid on it. Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. And they can upgrade for another $20 and start making money themselves. I don't know. That's just, so I don't want to drop my, when it's, just drop the mic time, right? So when a guy like Robert Hollis says, man, if you're not getting the sample program out there, and getting them in, and then here's what they do. You'll hear this, and shut me off anytime, Chris, because sometimes I get going. You'll hear this statement. If people don't have skin in the game, they're not going to work the business. Anybody ever hear that before? Okay, right? We've all heard that. If they don't have skin in the game, they're not going to work the business. Well, here's what I can tell you. I've been involved and have coached a lot of people in this industry that are with high-ticket affiliate marketing programs. Carlos is one of them. Ask Carlos someday how much money people had to put in. It was upwards of $60,000. And then ask them after they did that, how much they did, how much work they did. And he'll tell you, there were some of them didn't do a thing. They put in $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 and didn't do a thing. Now, I don't know about you, but $10,000 is, I would consider that a pretty big skin in the game, right? So if someone tells you that, you know, if they don't go with the hemp exec pack, they don't have skin in the game and they're not going to do anything. It's what we call in Detroit blowing smoke. Okay? It's just not true. You know what changes people from no matter what amount they came in to a producer, to success, to a leader? It's you, Chris. It's you, John. It's you, Gina. It's you, Tink. It's Aaron. It's Corey. It's Jana. That's what changes it. I've had people that came in as builders and are now 5K affiliates. It wasn't because they didn't have skin in the game. It was because they saw my passion, they saw my vision, they saw what I wanted to do, they saw the community that we were building, they saw the passion and the hearts that we all had, and they wanted to be a part of this. We've got people on the team that will tell you they will never quit this because of the community that we're developing, the community that we are building. Because they love being a part of something that's bigger than them. It's not because they have skin in the game. They don't care about that. It's because they want to be a part of this. They want to walk around with the hair on their arm up all the time. So you just got to shave it off. So it drives me crazy. So if you want to know what drives people, if you want to know what drives them to the next level, Joan, it's you. Corey, it's you. That's what drives them to the next level. When I get done with the training on Saturday, if you guys could see all the messages I get from people, not because of me, just because they're just so excited to be a part of this group and a part of what we're doing. They're part of being a part of something that God's got his hand in, I believe, with all of my heart. The peace that I have in this business and the hearts that we're changing and the lives that we're impacting. It's not about the money. Except for, guess what? $200 a month extra in a person's life can change them forever. I don't know if you guys were on the training that Robert did when he talked to that young lady, Amanda, when she said, how much do you need? And she said, $200. $200. And did you see the tears and the emotion that he brought out in her? That's the last thing. I'll turn this over to Corey because I've been jabbering too long, but I get passionate about this. The last thing that you need to do is and this is something that Amway, the Amway leaders, I grew up with these guys like Bill Britt and Dexter Yeager and Ron Prieur, and these guys were my mentors when I first got started. And I didn't know any better. And they taught us to do something called Dreamscape with your people. And that's what Robert did with that young lady, Amanda. Because if I'm talking to you and I'm talking to Chris and I'm finding out what's driving him, where his emotion lies, and what it would feel like for him to be making an extra maybe $500, or what it would feel like for Chris to be impacting 500 people's lives. And I see that emotion in his face and that emotion in his heart. And Chris and I have had Zooms, just he and I, and there were tears, and we've been, emotional about what we're talking about. When he gets into that despite mode and it's a downhill, and he and I can talk and say, remember how you felt. Remember how you felt when we talked about the lives you were going to impact. Are you going to let this little flaw in the road, this little bump in the road, stop you from getting to that feeling again, to getting to where you were going? You need to learn to dreamscape with your people. Everybody you bring on, you should have a Zoom like this with them or a conversation with them. I like Zoom because you can talk to them face to face. Find out what it is. Find out where what it is that is going to change their life emotionally, because that's what ties it all together. Now, when times get bad, you can talk to them about that, and that emotion wells up in them, and all of a sudden they're excited again. They're ready to kill this thing. They're ready to get excited. And then you know what happens after that? The next day, they're on their way home from wherever they are, and they get a call from somebody to come over to their house, and they sign them up. Sound familiar? You don't know, but they get excited, right? And then the good times. So I hope has this helped you guys at all?
Yes, 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 yes. Ron, I
Yes,
thank you
thank you,
so much.
Ron.
I thank you so much, Ron. So you guys can get a little idea of this man. Obviously, is just a little bit older than me, but he's been there and he's done that. And all I'm doing, guys, is I'm following him. That's it. Get my ego out of the way and follow him. And and Ron knows this, it's not about money. I may get to where Ron's at and not make a lot of money, but I will have impacted a lot of lives. And that's my goal. That is my goal, despite what anybody may think. And what's happening is God's blessing me with the monetary as well. And I know that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it over to Corey. And real quick with Corey, guys. Corey, first off, I didn't even know Corey was my upline at first. I had no idea who Corey was. Corey disappeared for a little while. I'll let him tell you. Corey has a lot of years in this business, if I'm not mistaken, since he was 19, 20 years in this business. He's been pretty high up in the companies he's been in, making very, very good money. But more important than that, once I figured out who Corey was, I reached out to him. And if I could tell you a difference in night and day between two people, it's Corey and I. We have completely different thoughts on this, the business, but we have the same thought on the God idea and helping others. And that's why this works. So I'm going to turn it over to Corey. Corey has helped me immensely, guys. So I would highly listen to what he's going to say.
All right. Hey, well, before I go off here a little bit and just chat for a few minutes, I just want to say I'm inspired by this team and I'm inspired by Ron. And, everything Ron said is so incredibly bang on. I've watched Ron since I came in the business. I loved his story that he told at the beginning because for somebody like me, that's so powerful, what Ron was sharing earlier when he said just about how when he started in the business, he saw that I was running up the rank really, really quick. And that was kind of, he said he was going to do kind of what I did at that point in time. And it kind of used me as motivation for him to get to that 10K rank. And, now the tables have turned, right? And I'm looking at Ron as being a massive motivation to me. And so I reached out to Ron not too long ago and I just was kind of like asking him a few questions and, he got that message. And the biggest thing I took from him was that he was copying Robert Hollis and whatever Robert said to do was going to be the pathway that he took. And I was like, hey, okay, well, Ron's now, almost 50K affiliate. I'm now just going to go and copy that same thing. So, obviously Robert and I talked at the earlier stage of me being in the business. So I reached out to Robert Hollis last week and he knows my history and where I've come from and kind of my experience in the industry. And so we got on the phone, probably had a very similar conversation to the conversation that Ron had with him. And I'm just like, okay, if Robert says to do it, I'm now going to go out there and do it and just kind of be that teachable person. And that's what I want to encourage you guys to begin with is that's the difference. And Ron said it, you got to follow instructions, right? And that's what has always made me kind of, I don't want to say different than a lot of other people in this industry, but I don't know how else to say it, is that I'm willing to throw my ego out the door. I'm willing to throw out all my past, all the successes I've had in my past and just be like, okay, if this guy who's further along in the journey than me is doing this, I'm going to be willing to follow the directions that they give me. And so, we're so blessed to have somebody like Ron and Robert that are just here for us, that are willing to lead this group and lead this team. And the best thing that we can do is jump on board and follow directions. So that said, you guys, I just wanted to say that I am so on the same page as Ron with everything that he said. And so before I share with you just a couple things that I'm going to share with you, I want to comment on something that Chris said because it is so important. Chris and I are wired just a little bit differently, but Chris is inspiring me. Okay, I'm just going to be really clear and direct about that. So Chris's strength, and Chris and I have talked about that, is he is so good at telling stories, okay? And so I'm going to tell you guys right now, I am working on getting good at telling stories. What I have seen is that his story is so powerful. The stories that are within this group are so powerful, and we have got to be telling them. I had one of my sample packs the other day. She was on here at the beginning, couldn't get volume working, but she has fibromyalgia, and she messaged me 3 days after getting her sample pack and said, my pain is almost gone. How do I get more product, and how do I sign up as an affiliate, right? And so that just goes to say with what Ron was saying, right? There's nothing wrong with starting $12 or $11.95 to just pay for your shipping for the sample, because those people are going to get results, and they're going to then want it to turn into so much more. And so I am a huge advocate of the program, and I don't think there's anything wrong with anybody starting with a sample. So anyway, all that said, I wanted to say that first, because before I share what I share, I believe that stories are more powerful than what I'm going to share. Okay. I believe that stories are the biggest and the most important thing, and that we can never stop telling stories. We can never stop putting them out there on Facebook and every medium that we have access to, because the more of them we tell, the more results that every single one of you guys are going to get. Okay. That said, Chris did want me to talk about where my start came from, right? And Ron, you kind of brought it up. I think I was nothing to 10K in 17 days, right? And so, you know, I'm trying to preface it when I get started, because I never want anyone to think that like my way is the only way, because it is certainly not the only way. I will go as far as to say I don't even think it's the best way, because I think stories are better than what I'm about to share with you. But that doesn't mean that what I'm about to share with you can't complement the stories. And some of you guys that are on this conversation right now, on this Zoom right now, you guys got Chris's personality, you know, you've got that element to you, and will really relate to stories right off the bat. Others of you guys might really relate to what caused me to kind of get a really fast start. And I think what Chris wants is he wants people to see the options and see the different things that different people are doing to get results. So Ron, I don't know if this is possible, but if you can, am I able to share my screen just for like 2 or 3 minutes on this call?
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me just, I think you should be able to, because this is not a webinar, so you should be able to, Corey.
Pay attention, guys. Pay attention to what he's getting ready to show you.
There's a green button down at the bottom that says share.
Got it. All right. I think I'm here. Desktop, share. All right. You guys can see my screen now, right?
Yep. You're good to go.
Okay. So these are the two. You guys can see Team Hope, My Daily Choice group. These are the two chats that for our group that I'm in all the time, because I just love these stories that are going on. Now I'm trying to figure out how to make them smaller. All of a sudden I lost it.
If you go up to the corner, there's an X right there. There's an X on each one.
Yeah, I just need to make this smaller, and then I'll be able to get to it. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Okay, so, you know, just like Ron has an amazing group, and he's so, Ron, like, you just blow me away. Like, I am learning so much from you guys right now, and just how you welcome any of my group members, our team, into your group. I'm so grateful for that, and what you're doing. And you know, that's what Robert said when he talked to me too. And I know that's where you're taking, you know, where you're learning from as well, right? And so I had this group from the very beginning. I haven't used it a lot. I've started to use it a lot more once again. So my personal group, my Corey's MDC private co-op group, this is where I share the things that I do. And all of you guys as members of the team, anyone who ever wants to be in my group, I'm obviously following the leads, is welcome to be there. But in the file section, I'm just going to share with you guys what I did to get my results. And by no stretch of the imagination am I ever going to say this is the only way, because the stories rock, and I want to make that so clear. But if you're not in my group, I know Chris has been adding most of you guys to my group, but if you're not in it, ask Chris to add you, and we'll go ahead and get you added to it if you want access to these few files that I'm going to share with you. I have 3 things where the first 80 to 100 people that I enrolled came from, okay? And the biggest thing that I did, and Ron, this is probably what you saw me doing when we were at the very early stages, because I'm guessing, Ron, that you and I came in within like 2 days of each other. I'm guessing, I don't know, but I'm guessing we came in probably the very same week and got involved at the same time, or very close to the same time. And one of Aaron's strengths is he's just willing to share and let things either be for someone or not be for someone. And so with the strategy that I'm sharing with you guys right now, we call it our 25 or more message a day strategy. This is something that someone with my personality, I'll be direct, right? What I'm about to share with you guys is something that someone like me can only do for about 3 weeks. It's not something that I do forever. It's something I do to make sure that everybody who's related to me in some way, shape, or form, that's a friend of mine or is on my contacts list, at least knows what I am doing. And so I put together this document. It's called our 25 message a day strategy. And we simply have an intro message that we send out to our friends on Facebook or via text message to our contacts. And we simply let them know that we've got something good going on. You'd literally just come into this document if you were to use this, come and copy and paste it and send 25 or so messages a day out to your friends on Facebook or to your text messages. And to the ones respond, you guys, and you got to understand, lots of people aren't going to respond. You're talking about, I don't know, maybe 5-10% of people will respond to a message like this. And the ones that say yes, we would then just go ahead and send them the next message, introducing them to what we have to offer and recommending they take a tour. Now, I'll tell you guys, in my 25 message a day strategy, because what I love about Robert, and I've understood this even clearer now, Robert's strength is in making someone else the guy, right? And you heard Ron say it, okay? Ron said very, very clearly that Robert is willing to make Jenna and Josh the guy, right? Just like Ron and myself we don't need anything to be about us, right? We're willing to make Robert the guy. So the reason I use this capture page when I send it out is I know that every single person that pre-enrolls, I'm going to be adding them to the Vision team immediately. And so I want to be starting to make Robert the guy right from the get-go. And so if they say yes or they're open to it, I take this message and I send it to them. And then the ones that pre-enroll, then I go ahead and I do this follow. I just send them follow-up messages over the course of the week that are the rest of this document that we don't need to go over right now, because you guys can all come look at this document if you want to. If it's not for you, no problem, right? But the important thing here for me was to kind of jump on and let you guys know, I enrolled at least 80 people by doing this. I don't know what the number was, okay? And if I would have been smarter, and if I would have been working closely with Robert and Ron at that time, right, I probably would have done a better job and there'd be more. I'd probably be 50K or 100K already, but I went on a mission trip, and like Ron and Chris said, I basically disappeared for a while and really just got back in the game in the last month or month and a half, 2 months. Don't know exactly what it's been. And so you guys can know that the great thing about this group is that it's a group full of servant leaders, a group of people that just want to share what they're doing to get results, and we're all here to help each other. And so if any of you guys want to use my process and see how it works for you, that's great. Okay, you're welcome to, but just don't have unrealistic expectations, right? The problem with a lot of people is they hear somebody like me saying I send 25 messages a day, right? And so they send 10 messages and they don't have a response, and they don't have one or no responses yet, and so they think it doesn't work, right? Well, no. We do this day. I did this every single day for 3 weeks, at least 25 to 50 messages every single day. So you can't compare your results to my results if you're only willing to send 10 messages out there. It just isn't the same comparison. So that's where the vast majority of my results have personally come from. And I just wanted you guys to all know that you're welcome to use it if you want to. And it's in the file section of my page. So just ask Chris to add you if you're not already on my page. And then another thing I'll quickly point out on this page here is, to me, follow-up is everything. You never stop following up with your pre-enrollees. I'm not going to go over this document. You guys can look at it. I have a document back here that just shares some of my tips to following up. I call it 10 to 100 touches, because I never stop reaching out to my pre-enrolls via a text message, via Facebook Messenger, until they tell me they're not interested. And this document is how I personally do it. So you're welcome to take a look at that if you want to as well. I'll say one final thing here, and I don't even want to talk about this further than this on this call. Stories are best. Sharing results, changing people's lives. There's nothing better than that. But I am also a leads guy. And so for me, I always tell people, once you feel like you've run out of people, you've done a great job of everything else, then you can start to look at possibly incorporating leads into your business if you want to. It is for some people. It's not for other people. It is where I got my start in this industry. free. So I always make leads available to everybody in my organization. Leads simply means people like me, we know how to drive mass amounts of traffic, okay, to our opt-in pages. And so we make that traffic available to the team so that you can get pre-enrollees from people that you don't know. So from people that just hit your opt-in page randomly. But I'm not even going to talk about that today, because I will tell you guys, this is where my first 80 people came from. If you want to get results in a hurry, you've got to be willing to share what it is you're doing and how it's changing your life. So I'm going to be short and sweet. I have to actually leave the house in 3 minutes, so I'm going to kind of leave it there, but I will just unshare my screen and just make a couple more quick comments here. All right, how do I get back into the Zoom now? All right, can you guys see me? I think you can. All right, so I wanted to let you guys know really briefly
You're
that
still sharing, Corey.
Pardon me, I'm still sharing. How do I unshare?
There should be a red button at the top.
There we go. Awesome. I'm now unsharing. I think I'm good. So that's where my initial run came from. And so you guys are all welcome to learn from it and utilize it, take advantage of it. Everybody on this team is welcome to reach out to me anytime they want. I don't think Ron's team is on here today. I think he did this out of the goodness of his heart like he always does. But obviously, we are people that are reciprocating people. So the same would go all the way around always. But I am so grateful. And, Chris, Ron, if it wasn't for you, maybe Chris wouldn't even be here, right? So, from me to you, I am very grateful for your servant heart. And it is such a powerful, powerful thing. And I said it to you before everyone else came on. I've been in the online space for 16 years, and I started in this space very, very early on. I was only 19 years old. I'm 36 now. And, I didn't think I was ever going to get back into this space. And when I started to see the stories and I started to see the lives that were changing, my mind just was blowing. My mind was just like, I have to do this. Like, what kind of a human being would I be if I wasn't willing to share this, if I wasn't willing to talk about it, if I wasn't willing to share the lives that are being changed? I just feel like a horrible person. I don't know what else to say, right? And that's what's got me so passionate about this company right now, and why I'm fully engaged. So you guys follow Chris, follow Ron, feel free to follow anything I do. But more important than anything else, what separates people that get results from those that don't is we're simply willing to take action, right? Ron has not enrolled 70 people because he sat on his butt. Okay, that's not what happened, right? Ron has enrolled 70 people because he was willing to go out there and share with people what was going on, share the lives that were being changed, right? So don't make the mistake of thinking that you can sit on your butt and do nothing and expect that you're going to get results, because that's not fair either. We are not here to mislead you. We get results because we go out and share, we go out and take action. And that's my encouragement to every single one of you guys. So that's all I got to say, Chris. I'll turn it back to you.
Wow. Thank you, Corey. Thank you. So guys, I'm just, these two guys that were willing on a Sunday night to come on and do this with us, I cannot express the gratitude I have for both of you. Like, I am so glad that my God put you guys in my life. There's not words that will explain it. Whoever wants to go with us, whoever wants to come with us, come on, let's go. If you're not willing to do some work and put in some action and take some effort here, you're just going to waste your time. My goal is to touch as many lives as I can. And what I'm going to do right now is real quick. Ron, do you have about 10 minutes?
Yeah, I've got 11. No, I got
okay.
10.
So this is what we're going to do.
I got
Corey,
plenty of time.
Thank you. So, guys, what we're going to do, Sharon, Tori, Debbie, Angel, Amy, Kathy, Walter, Gina, Peggy, I got it right, Joan, Jennifer, whoever the phone number is with 314 area code, I'm going to open the floor for you guys, and Debbie, hi, Debbie, and Ron is going to answer some questions for you. If you have a question for me, there's a 100% chance Ron's going to have the answer, not me. So right now is your time to ask a man that is bombarded weekly with people trying to get his advice. now's the time to ask your questions. Okay? So I guess, Ron, you take over, watch the people, call them out. I've got to get out here real quick and see family. But go ahead, guys, and Ron, it's yours. Thank you. I love you, Ron.
Love you, Chris. One thing I want to say something to kind of piggyback on what Corey said. I used a similar version of what he did in the beginning when I first started. Here's what I will tell you. When you're reaching out like that, the reason I think that Corey and I had so much success and Aaron had success is because we were entrepreneurs and our Facebook audience was entrepreneurs, so they were looking for that. Don't be disappointed if you've been spending time on social medias, but you've been maybe talking about health and wellness, or you've been talking about, your likes and family and stuff like that, and then you start offering business opportunities and you don't get the best results right up front. Okay. So that's what happens to a lot of people. They'll say, well, because to be honest, I was doing 50 to 100 of those a day. And because I was a maniac. I just saw what Corey did and I'm like, okay, this guy could do it. And I was 2 weeks behind or so. But I had, 5,000 friends, and all of them were entrepreneurs and looking for opportunities or in opportunities and stuff like that. So I was pitching to the right, if you will, pitching to the right audience. If you're pitching to your audience and your audience is not like that, then you may not get the same results. And I'll tell you, I had people come back to me, and I had 12 that I remember distinctly come back and say, you don't know what you're doing. You're pitching me, you're spamming me. Don't you know anything about marketing? 3 of those people are in the business now and doing great. So the old days of not talking about, and those of you who may have been on my live today, I got a little carried away in my live today, but you got to let people know you're open for business. You've got to let everyone, can you imagine if a guy, picture this, you just spent $1 million to get your McDonald's. You got a McDonald's franchise. You spent $1 million to get your McDonald's building built. You've got all these 18-year-olds. Oh, I can't imagine doing that. But you've got all these 18-year-olds, employees, and you're ready to go. And all you do is you get up in the morning and everything's ready to go, and you just kind of sit out there. You don't turn the lights on. You don't put on the open sign. Maybe you don't even build the golden arches, and you can't figure out why nobody's coming to your McDonald's. But you're telling everybody on the side, yeah, I know how to make good hamburgers. I've got all this value and everything, hoping that this attraction marketing thing will work, and people will just want to show up for some reason. Are you kidding? Right? No McDonald's owner would do that. They got signs all over their grand opening, banners all over the place, everything. So you've got to let people know that you've got a business and you're open for business. So don't be afraid of going out there. I lost 3 people in the beginning because I didn't. 3 friends of mine that know I'm in network marketing, but they were looking specifically for CBD because, like Todd Falcone says, and this is the biggest thing, this is the biggest shift in health and wealth that we're going to see in our lifetime. So it's not like someone that's just looking for an opportunity. There are people out there looking for CBD opportunities. And they didn't know. They knew I did network marketing, but they didn't know. And they went to someone else's Facebook page that had HempWorks all over it and joined them. Because my sign wasn't open, my store wasn't open, because I was playing the incognito witness protection plan mode, right? So don't do that. All right, who's got some questions for me?
The screen. Did he change the screen?
I do.
All right, Debbie?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, so
I can hear him, but I can't see anybody.
you said earlier that like a lot of my friends, none of them are really entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've been finding a lot of them and threading them.
Where the hell did the screen go?
And I've been doing a lot of posts because I got my steps in and I use that screen and it's amazing.
Okay.
So do I need to change my friends?
There's an old saying that goes, if you can't change your friends, change your friends. Right?
Yeah.
So the reality is that you need to find out, Debbie, what it is, where your passion comes for this business. So let's say, here's a good example. Let's say you had amazing results with the product for your dog. And you know who the most passionate people in the world? Dog lovers.
Dog lovers.
Dog lovers, man. We're our whole family's dog lovers. We've always had we're the one dog for the first time in our lives. So if your passion is that your story is that you had and I'll tell you this quick story. One of the ladies that got in the business early on, she had a golden retriever that could not get up and down the stairs because of his hips. My wife calls them Scooby treats. She got into Scooby treats, and the next day he was racing her up and down the stairs.
Wow.
Now, here's the funny part of the story. She's telling me this, and she says, "But Ron, I got to tell you, man, the CBD oil tastes terrible, and it's really not doing that much for me." I said, "Really? What did you get?" She goes, "I got the one that's only $250." Oops, that's bacon flavored for the dog. and she just, we've told that story 100 times. It was so funny, but the reality is that that's her story. That's her story. So who does she reach out to? Dog lover groups. She goes out to all these dog lover Facebook groups, and she starts just not pitching at all, but she'll see someone that says, "Oh, man, my dog's, does anybody know anything? My dog's having seizures. Could you recommend anything?" And she'll just put a comment, "Oh yeah, Debbie, I've got something I use with my dog that worked great. Why don't you just private message me?" You always want them to private message you. And then when they do, you say, "Hey, look, this is what I've got," and so forth. So your answer to, do I change my friends? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because your friends, and we call them friends, but it's your audience, it's your market.
Right.
If your market are people that, I don't know, I'm sorry, Jen, I'm picking on you. If your market is scuba divers, right? CBD oil may not necessarily be the thing for them, and it would be,
right,
to be honest. But it may, I'm using that because it's just not an obvious answer. If you've ever scuba dived before, yeah, you get achy, you get tired, you get sore, you get all kinds of things. But the reality is that you need to make sure that the market that you're marketing to, I don't market my McDonald's hamburgers to vegans.
Right.
Right. So.
Well, see, I looked up CBD oil groups on Facebook, and a lot of them said that you're not allowed to sell on there. So.
You're not allowed to what?
Sell on them.
You don't want to sell on them. All you want to do is.
You just want to join them and conversate.
Yeah, but all you're going to do is just comment on. There's a ton of them out there, and all you want to do is just comment on people's posts. That's all you're doing. You're not putting posts up. All you want to do is go to the group and then just comment on it. Now, if you're looking for business builders, then I recommend going to like Eric Worre's Network Marketing Pro group or Jim Rohn's group. You're not allowed to post on any of those, but that Jim Rohn, obviously not Jim Rohn, but because he's passed away, but Tony Robbins and his staff are the ones posting things out there. But there's people out there that will say, "Man, I just went to Tony's, Live the Dream event, and it was amazing. I learned so much." Well, I'll go out there and I'll say, "Oh, that's great, Joan. What did you learn? I'd love to know what you learned." And then Joan will come back and say, "Oh, it was this and this and this." And next thing you know, bing, I get a thing up in the top that says, "Joan requested to be my friend." I'm like, "Oh, isn't that cool?" So now I got a new friend. And guess what I know about Joan? I'm going to go to Joan's profile and see where Joan's head's at and where her ideals are and so forth. And she's on Tony Robbins, right? So she's got to be about personal growth, one would think, because you don't want to go out to all these work from homes and, advertise here and all those where people just spam, because guess what you're going to get? You ladies, you're going to get a lot of guys wanting to get married. You guys, you're going to get a lot of guys you're going to get a lot. You're going to get a lot of ladies from other countries that want you to marry them to bring them over here. I mean, it's just, or Bitcoin. That's where I get all that. Bitcoin. So I never even go out to these places. But if you go to reputable groups and start just commenting, all of a sudden you start getting friend requests from people that are entrepreneurs. If that's you really want business builders if you're going to build a business. Customers will come, and you're going to see this if you look at the stats, you'll see a lot of the people that are on the leaderboard every month aren't on the rank recognition very high. There are people that do 80, 90, 100 people or more, 200. One family, the Connie Waits, her team does 200 some months. And she's just a 25K affiliate after months of doing that. Why is that? Because they've concentrated on customers. What is it that customers don't do? They don't order the next month.
No, they don't order the next. They don't wait till they run out.
They don't upgrade to executives. Once in a while they'll upgrade to a paid affiliate. But you're basically building a business for yourself if you're just going out for customers. So you want to find business builders, people that you can partner up with the same heart, the same mind, that you can work with, get success, and help build. Okay, and what comes with that is customers and so forth. So I hope that answers your question, David.
Yeah, it does.
Right, good.
So should I go live, do live Facebook stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I would tell all of you, get out of your comfort zone.
I'm not very good at it.
Nobody is. I was terrible. I still am.
But the cream is, I can't even put enough. I got home last night. I have years ago, long story short, I broke my tailbone. And since it hasn't bothered me until July of 2018, and it has bothered me up until last night.
Wow.
And I got that cream, and I put it on my tailbone, and it just hasn't hurt.
There you go. There's a story. There's a story. Go live, tell that story. Just like
it just has not hurt at all.
Just like you did just now. There's your live. And the next live, you tell someone else's story. And the next live after that, you start talking about how, maybe you were reading a good book. If you guys haven't read this book, this is the only assignment I will ever give you. Read this book. Read this book. It's tiny thin. Read the book. Okay? I'll give you two. I got 4 books. Science is Rich. And I like this one. I like Robert's new book better than his first one. How's That Working? This is a great book. Just came out. But that's what you do with the lives. I read this book, so I did a live on it when I read it. I read the next book, I did a live on it when I read it. Guess what you are giving the people, Debbie, when you do that? You're giving them value. Now they start looking at you. This is what we call, and I know Corey knows this. This is attraction marketing, but it's really the old marketing scheme where people would always. I don't know if do you guys have Costco's where you're at, or Sam's Club and all that, right? I was talking about this the other day. Gina, you may not have those. Yeah, you do. Yeah. But one of the big things when the kids were growing up is we take them to Costco on Saturdays because Saturdays they had all the samples out.
Yeah, they still do.
Thank you.
Everybody's nodding their head. Oh yeah, I've done that, right? So they go to the samples. Now,
you hungry for lunch? Let's go to the store.
Exactly. And how genius was that of Costco and Sam's Club and those places to do that, right? We just talked about, Corey and I just talked about the sample program. Costco's a $1 billion company. Sam's Club's a $1 billion company. We're $100 million on our way to a $1 billion company. We have samples. There's a clue here. Success leaves clues. That's a clue, right? But what happens is that all those samples, that draws people in. And now when they're looking around and they're getting the samples and everything, now they're going to look at everything else. So you want to make sure that when you're doing your lives, you're giving out value. For Costco, that value is a sample. And then everybody goes, oh, okay, but now look at the deals here. That's even more value. So now they start to know, like, and trust Costco. So now they go there all the time. You don't have time to build rapport and all that stuff. You can a little bit, a couple of seconds, minutes, but what you want to do is you want to let people know that you're out there, you're open, and give some value. So doing lives is an amazing way to do it. So
cool.
You're not going to be good. But here's the one thing I'll tell you another good quote. And I never want, I can go with, if people want to call me Papa Smurf, I can live with that, but I don't want to be Papa Cliche, even though I love cliches. But, you know, and I think, and Corey, you may know the answer to this one. I think it was either Jim Rohn or Zig Ziglar that said, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And then a guy that you probably would never think of that we'd take quotes from, Steve Martin, right? His quote might have been, you know, make everybody laugh or something. But when he was getting started in the industry, he knew he had to do something different than everybody else. And I love his quote is, be so good they can't ignore you. And I'm going to tell you that I'm seeing that now experientially happening in my life. I have people reaching out to me that I never expected to reach out to me because of what our team's doing and the success we're having. Be so good that they can't ignore you. But you have to, just like Corey said, you have to take action. You have to get out there and do it. You're gonna have a lot of fear. Anybody that's never done a live before, you're gonna have a lot of fear. I used to speak in front of 1,000 people or more. I had a school of my own and everything else. I've been in front of people. The first live I did, I was like, I hope I'm a little bit better now, but I love doing them. I enjoy it. Because I know I'm impacting lives and helping people, and that's important to me. So you've got to get past that fear, right?
Yeah.
All right, Debbie, thank you.
We've done Facebook Live before because I had a business page for my home cleaning company. But it was, I don't know, it wasn't very good.
Well, you know what? It's amazing that, you know, what you think isn't very good, other people love because it's real. And that's what you got to be yourself. You just got to, you know, get out there and do it. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a real professional, but I'm actually using products that I can let other people use, and I can actually give a testimonial for them.
Yeah.
Hi, Debbie. It's Gina. Hi.
Hi, Gina.
I just wanted to say that with regards to the lives and that, I tell you, I did a live, was it yesterday, Ron? Or 2 days ago?
I think it was 2 days ago.
Where I was supposed to be having a shared live with Ron. And I'd worked out what I was going to say, and I'd gone over it like 20, 30 times. So I had it down pat. And the technology, I'm not au fait with it. And it didn't work out how we wanted it to. And I realized that I couldn't get Ron on. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Okay, I'm just going to go with it. And I'm telling you, you will be surprised how much you actually know. Ron, am I lying?
She was amazing. She was amazing. I mean, I felt like, wow, I didn't even need to be there. She did an amazing job. She just picked it up. We couldn't connect because she had an Android and I had an iPhone, and then Zoom wasn't doing what it was. It was one of those days where nothing worked. And this is a great example. Gina's exactly right.
And honestly, I'm telling you, I was just as scared as how you feel right now. I was, you know, to everybody else, I kind of looked okay. But underneath, I was like that duck, like I was paddling so fast so that I didn't drown. But I'm telling you, everything is going to come out just as it should. I'm telling you. So keep the faith, girl.
Absolutely. And it was a great example. I mean, she got done, and I watched her the whole time, and it was amazing. So thank you, Gina, for sharing that. Anybody else got a question?
Ron, can I just comment on that quickly?
Who's? Oh, Corey.
Sorry, I just was seeing if I could comment quickly on this Facebook Live thing.
Go ahead.
Okay, awesome. I just wanted to say really, really fast, as this is so bang on. And what I want to encourage you guys when it comes to having the guts, because we all feel the same way when it comes to doing Facebook Lives. I can tell you guys, when your heart is in the position of just wanting to help people, it's not going to matter what you say on that Facebook Live. I can tell you, over the last 2 years, without even caring about the money and the different things that I've done in my life, Facebook Lives have made me hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And it's just because every time I do a live, even though I sucked at them in the beginning and I still kind of suck at them, I'm still not very good, but I'm better than I was, right? It's just because every single time when I get on a live, I have the right heart, and that heart is that I want to make a difference in people's lives and I want to help people. And as long as that's your heart, it won't matter what comes out of your mouth. It won't matter if you stumble or if you screw up or if you say the same things 10 times. The right person at the right time will be listening, and that person will at some point respond. So anyway, that's my encouragement that I just wanted to throw out there to everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah.
absolutely
You know,
right.
I listen to Pete, and I love him.
Yeah.
I listen to his Golden Nugget every day.
That's awesome.
All right. Anybody else with a question?
Hey, Ron, I just had one quick question, if I could, and you were speaking about your audience and changing your audience. So just one quick little clue, if you could, on I've been talking to my audience and putting messages out there, and I've been getting customers, but something you said really stuck out to me about the people I've been reaching out to. They've been more my customer base versus the entrepreneurs. And it seems like the people that are having a lot of success in this marketing are reaching out to affiliate style mentalities. So what kind of groups would you suggest, jumping on as far as to connect with those people? Or do you on that briefly? And I don't want to take up too much of your time.
No, that's exactly true. Your audience is going to determine, how you market. If your audience is really based on people that, are having pain and having medical issues and everything else, they're going to end up being customers, right? Most likely. I mean, obviously a lot of customers will turn into paid affiliates when they find out how good it is and so forth. So, my favorite groups are groups, I stay away from the work from homes and network marketing groups and all of those, because those are really where I believe you get the spammers and the people that are just, out there trolling. Okay. So I go to the reputable ones, Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, Eric Worre, Ray Higdon, Tony Falcone, Jim Rohn's site, Darren Hardy's site, things like that, the giants in the industry. And I just go through and, and I say I do that. I don't do that as much now because now I'm having to go through and delete all my friends because I need room for the new ones, right? Because now lives have kicked in and all of this stuff and that, but that doesn't happen at first. And that's what people don't understand. And that's why attraction marketing isn't duplicatable, because you need something done now. So if you go out to those groups and like I was saying to Debbie, you see someone that made a great comment. You can't put a post on there, but you can comment. You don't want to put a post on there. You want to put a comment. So you just comment on them. Hey, man, that was, I'd love to know what you got out of that. Or, that's amazing. What part of that seminar was that, or who was speaking, or whatever. You'll start changing your audience over because these people will start friend requesting you, and you'll start getting more and more. And I guarantee you that Corey and I, our audience has been, because of our path over the years, mostly entrepreneurs. So when you go out and pitch the entrepreneurs and message and reach out to the entrepreneurs about entrepreneur opportunities, they're going to be much more open to that. But if my audience was something other than that, and I started reaching out to them with an opportunity, I'm not going to obviously get the same results at all. So you got to take that into account. Okay.
Thank you very much. I got Tony Robbins. I just started following him on Facebook. There was a couple other ones that you mentioned. If you get time between now and tomorrow, would you just drop those names in Team Hope so I can grab them from you? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just whenever you get time. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I get up at 3:30 in the morning and I don't go to bed until 11 o'clock at night. Okay. Maybe 7, but somewhere.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're
Hey,
welcome.
Corey.
Thanks, Ron.
Corey. Ron,
Yeah.
can you tell me how to get the notes from the chat if you're going to put notes in there?
I'm not. I will put them in the Team Hope Messenger chat.
Yeah, and Peggy, I'll copy and paste them and get them into the
Document.
chat that you're in as well.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
And here's something, and I don't know if Corey noticed this. I'm using a thing called ManyChat now, and I love it. I've been using it for a while, but I got the idea from Lacey Garza to actually attach it to the Dream Team group for all my communication and training and everything else. So if you're in the Dream Team group, or if you're not in the Dream Team group, please reach out to Carlos or myself. We'll put you in there and subscribe to that bot, because it's like an autoresponder on steroids. Your email opening statistically is about 15 to 20% of your emails will get opened. Your messenger messages is about 80%. So whenever you can, that's why we teach you to connect through Messenger, because you're gonna now having the ability now to message all of you. So it's this ManyChat collects people like an autoresponder, and now I can set up sequences. So I've got a sequence that as soon as somebody gets in it over the next 5 days, it teaches them, it tells them what groups to join. It tells them, how to, it gives them the video on the back office, talks to, step by each day, gives them something new that they can learn. And then from there, it sets them up to a sequence. It gives them resources and things like that. But it allows me to send out notices if something's going on in the company or in the Dream Team and things like that. So certainly if you're in the Dream Team, go out. It's one of the top posts there. I was going to call it the Papa Bot, but too many people were laughing at me. So I said, it's just called the Dream Team Bot. You'll see a cute little cartoon up there to go. So.
Ron, hi, it's Gina. Amy says that her mic's not working right now, and she says, what are your suggestions and advice for speaking to businesses about buying by wholesale?
Do it. Gina, Gina. We have Gina, we have Jana, we have Jenna, we have, I'm just glad we have Joan. We just don't have any Rons, and I'm glad for that. But Jenna actually did, if you go out to Jenna's site, I think, and you might try the Dream Team YouTube channel. I may have pulled that and put it in there, or at least attached it. But she did a whole thing, a whole live, where she talked about in Vegas going into one of the shops and talking to them. And that'd be a good one to watch. I'll see if I can find it and put the link out there. But yeah, I would certainly encourage it. We've got the best of the best. I'm telling you, and I'll tell you this. I know we've been going out here for what, hour and a half. There's a company that just, and I know this because I was a founding member of the company, a great company. I don't want to say anything bad about the company in that, but they just introduced, they're not shipping until March, but they just introduced CBD oil. And you're going to see, now that the hemp bill here in the U.S. has been passed, or the farm bill, you're going to see them popping up all over the place. They're coming out of the woodworks, And I had someone that was in HempWorks and said, oh, and they were in both companies, and they said, oh no, the other company I'm in is getting CBD oil, and I know it's probably going to be better, so I'm gonna leave HempWorks and go with this company. And theirs has come out now. You can order theirs now. Okay. And I'm telling you this because I want you to know how powerful we are and what the competition, the so-called competition is. Their bottle is this big, okay? And if you look on the ingredients in ours, how many people know what's in ours, right? Pure CBD oil and hemp seed oil. Two things, right, John? Two things, okay? Or pure cinnamon, not cinnamon flavoring, even though it says cinnamon flavored. It's not cinnamon flavored, it's pure cinnamon, which has a whole bunch of medicinal, benefits in itself. But that's it, nothing else. No coconut oil, no, linseed oil, no humbo lambos, no acai berries. No, have you guys ever seen a tree that had all that stuff on it? I've never seen a plant that had all that on it. We got the hemp plant and CBD and a little bit of flavoring. Okay, so this company came out, and how much is this bottle? Anybody know how much this bottle is? This is $7.50. It's like $79 or something, right? Okay.
89.
Theirs came out, same size bottle, everything. 12 ingredients maybe. Peaches, coconut oil. I mean, all these, and then it's like, how do you get all of that and then a little bit of CBD oil? $139 a bottle.
Whoa! And it had glycerin in it as well.
I don't remember if it had glycerin in it.
Yeah.
It did. You're right. You saw the label, right?
Yeah.
$139 for a bottle. Now, on their bottle, and if you look at the ingredients on their bottle, it's one serving is 2 milliliters, and there are 30 servings in it. Okay, so people will look at ours and go, "Well, yeah, but your serving is only 0.6 milliliters." Are you getting this now? Ours is only 0.6 milliliters, so you only need to use this much of ours, and there's 50 servings in there, and theirs is only 13 milligrams of CBD, and ours is 15. And you have to get 15, you have to do 2 milliliters of it, and you only get 30 servings, and it's $139, and it's got all kinds of stuff on it. Look in the Dream Team. If you're in the Dream Team, look, I posted the label. Okay, so it's one of those things that when you open up theirs, it's not going to be this color at all. It's going to be clear. It's going to be, and they'll spin it. They've got this amazing technology that you get more absorption rate and all this, and you'll be taller, and my hair will be blonde again, and I'll be able to lift 300 pounds again. All of that stuff. No, it doesn't. It's not. We've got the best of the best. And that's why the story works, because people have tried all the others. They come to ours and they try it and they go, wow, this is amazing. So, any other questions? Because I got some good leftover mushu pork and fried rice. It sounds right. No. God bless you guys. I'm so honored and blessed to be here with you tonight. I hope has this helped you at all?
Ron,
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank you.
Ron, thank you so much.
Thank you, Corey. You're so very, very welcome. And man, I'm looking forward to sitting at the VIP tables with all of you guys. All of you. Meeting you in person in Vegas in October. How many have got your tickets already? Anybody? All right.
Not yet. I looked at hotels, but
Well, we had an amazing time in October, and there was like 2,000 of us. What's going to happen in this October is just going to be off the hook. So
It's going to be crazy. It was in October. You're right.
it's going to be, and my birthday is October 9th, so the convention is like 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So that's going to be kind of my birthday present to be 250K. So, and we'll be there. We'll be 50K affiliate probably by Monday or Tuesday at the latest.
wow,
That's awesome. Congratulations on your progress, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank you, Walter.
So
And
cool.
you know what? You guys are a part of it. Because you know what this does for me just as much as building and my own. Of course, Gina's on my team, so I love that. But this is, you don't know how inspiring this is to see all of you, to hear the stories. Jana, your story about the drive home, and Walter, you and I have talked a number of times, and I just, this is what drives me, and this is what, you can ask my wife. Well, this is, the door closes, and she hopes I come back out. So.
Well, go get some food, and thank you for everything.
Yes.
Thank you, Corey. And you guys were awesome. So
All right. God bless you guys. This is recorded.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you. And I'll get the recording to
Thanks,
Chris or Walter or somebody. So thank you.
thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Good
much.
night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye, Gina.
Good night.
All right.
Bye.
Good night.